Tzu Chis disaster assessment team in Mexico gets help from local residents as they prepare a distribution roster. We learn how much sodium is hidden in processed food and the impact of a high sodium diet. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chis disaster assessment team in Mexico is now wrapping up its work to double-check the roster of quake victims in preparation for upcoming aid distribution. Since the disaster area is large and the volunteers need to collect the quake victims' personal information, the help of local residents is needed. Fortunately, people have come forward to help Tzu Chis prepare the roster. Tzu Chis disaster assessment team in Mexico is wrapping up its assessment of the earthquake damage, preparing a roster for the upcoming aid distribution.
The devastation is very severe. It's a large disaster zone which we are unfamiliar with. Therefore, we need to double-check the roster that the government gave us. For nearly a month, we double-checked the roster given by the government, visiting the quake victims. We have our own list combining with the government's roster.
The volunteers have set up a service station where the quake victims can register. Two Tzu Chis volunteers from Taiwan who speak Spanish seized the occasion to introduce Tzu Chis to the affected residents.
Before the aid distribution takes place, we need to give out the vouchers. They need to be accurate. We need to see their IDs and pictures of the devastated homes. That requires a lot of personal information. Because we're not from this community, residents here would not provide us with such information. This is the difficulty we've encountered. The sister next to me is Trinidad. She's the secretary of Public Work Department here. There are 300 workers who are involved in road and public constructions. So she said she'll use her personal connections to help us solve this problem. She asked her friends and co-workers to help us set up stations. They help us collect personal information, ID numbers, and pictures of devastation. Because these people know her and see her in our Tzu Chis volunteer vest, they believe she's one of us. So many people came. They'll give us all the information in around 7 to 10 days. It will be the most complete and correct list after our second and third checks. Then we can give them the vouchers by the middle of the month. We hope to start distributing by the end of the month or the beginning of next month.
I can see that love motivates you. Love can move mountains, and I know we can complete this mission together. People of Xochimilco are grateful to you. They are also grateful to God for allowing us to meet each other. Thank you very much.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, many of the residents from the greater Houston area were evacuated to Dallas, where they can stay in government-provided housing for 3 months. Currently, there are still 87 families unable to return to their own homes. The Tzu Chis volunteers recently made a visit to present them with cash cards to help them get through this difficult time.
Tears and hugs cannot be held back when given Tzu Chis cash cards.
I have a job, cutting hair, and every day going walking every morning. I was working. It's been so hard.
Hamid Jones takes out the bamboo coin bank he received at the emergency shelter and knows what it means.
I put a little color in there.
Oh, yeah. You just save us some money and help lots of people.
Yes,
like no.
Tzu Chis volunteers in Dallas continue their care for Hurricane Harvey victims, as there are still about 87 households which have been evacuated from their homes in the greater Houston area to the Dallas region. They are temporarily staying in government-provided housing for 3 months, and Tzu Chis volunteers visit each family to present them with financial aid.
That's a debit card, equal like a cash. Oh, okay. Cash card, okay? You can use this card to buy the grocery.
Okay, actually, because I'm needing, I was going to get some air mattresses for me and my child.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
This other family also doesn't have to sleep on the floor anymore.
So much. The only people that has helped us is you guys, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. That's awesome.
The money comes from small donations from average people.
It's okay though, you
ordinary citizen.
Do not use this card in buying alcohol or cigarette.
Okay.
Just groceries or necessity.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you cannot use this kind of store cash too. First,
Thank you so much.
Call the number. This number, activate.
One door closes, another one can't open.
Tzu Chis Thailand chapter held its 40th free clinic to provide refugees with quality medical services. This time, staff members from the food bank were also on hand to distribute food for the needy. They hope their efforts can bridge the gap between the rich and poor, as well as promote the idea of cherishing food. With the help of volunteers, this Iraqi refugee in a wheelchair is able to seek medical care. This is the 40th free clinic held by the Tzu Chis Thailand chapter.
First time I'm coming because I want not understand, but now I know I have already appointment with the doctor and already I'm going for my teeth, everything. Okay, but thank you very much for your service, for your help, everyone help.
There are services ranging from dentistry, internal medicine, and pediatrics. Dr. Pachara has been coming here many times to serve these patients.
I decided to come join this event and serve the refugees because I speak English. This is my 4th time coming here to serve.
Staff members of a food bank have also come to distribute food they've collected from hotels, restaurants, and supermarkets.
In our world, there's so many people that have so much and waste so much, and there's so many people that don't have enough and need what these people are wasting. So what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between the waste and the need.
Different organizations are working together to help these refugees pursue a better future in this foreign land. The advent of the internet era allows virtually everyone to become involved in media. The popularity of live streaming has even attracted a popular news anchor, Li Siduan, to establish a new media company with the goal of webcasting and live streaming. Additionally, a print media company has also become involved with Facebook live streaming. This shows the growing influence of the internet.
This popular internet celebrity attracts some 4,000 to 5,000 viewers at a time just to eat a large portion of food. Follow-up views for this video total some 400,000 people. In this free media era, even normal people can have a big influence on the public.
Everyone wants to become a television producer, and they want to have their own station, and even the topic about the program is themselves.
Internet media content can basically be divided into 2 types, one of which is UGC, is user-generated content, such as blogs, with the other being PGC, or professional production content, such as Yahoo TV. A group of professional media people who aren't so concerned about earnings or internet celebrities are also becoming involved in webcasting.
We can bring you some clarity during this complex and confusing era. We help you understand the ins and outs as well as what is right and true.
Senior media professional Li Siduan may be familiar to many, as now he's not on TV but actually doing a live stream. Li Siduan is now putting all of his attention in webcasting. He has 30 years of experience in media, though he believes traditional media is being revolutionized by the internet, as the whole world is a market for information.
the past, anchors or show moderators or journalists were always secondary to the message. But now in the new media era, your personal role and relationship with media information is more important as you are able to select the information that you want to present, as you are now part of the story.
Now that everyone can be involved in the media, audiences have more choice and flexibility about who they want to choose from. According to research from the Institute for Information Industry, Taiwan viewers' favorite live stream content is as follows: 40% leisure and entertainment content, over 30% comedy, 27% is professional or special topics. This shows that most netizens prefer watching lighthearted, relaxing content.
3、2、1 Action.
Hello, Apple Daily fans. I'm Zheng Wei, and today with Jian Wei at the Danshui Activity Center.
Traditional print media this year has also become active in social media such as Facebook, with a group responsible for live streaming, with former anchors being responsible for the broadcast.
要完成一艘读的时候，到底有需要一些什么样的东西、什么样的器材啊，或是工具之类的。
This interview was conducted on Friday afternoon. The overall theme of the program is introducing kayaking, as there was a light, happy atmosphere throughout. At the start of the broadcast, tens of thousands of fans tuned in, and the popularity of the broadcast could be easily quantifiable.
Before, there was a gun battle in Zhonghe, and there were some 10,000 people watching at the same time. But now the programming is more about eating and drinking and relaxing activities.
From television, radio, and print media, all these traditional media outlets are adjusting to the times and taking another view of the media industry. In 2016, Taiwan's digital advertising volume was $855 million, which is an increase over $639 million for over 30% increase. During the same year of 2016, TV commercials totaled some $775 million, which shows that new media advertising has already surpassed that of television, as it is now mainstream media.
Before, when you were doing a stand, you tried to put off your information into 1 minute. But now you can chat and express your opinion as there's more time.
Do you think there's a big difference between a TV program and one on the internet? I think that there's no difference in the value of my program and the message that we want to communicate when compared to traditional media.
Internet transmission is now becoming a more important part of communication, allowing for more information to be exchanged within communities. Now that internet media has become more mainstream, there's a need for greater responsibility. Key leaders in the media industry are now examining how to transmit their message to fit their new audience, which is largely online.
Sodium is an essential mineral for human bodies as it helps control our body's fluid balance. According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, adults should not consume more than 2,400 milligrams of sodium a day. However, many people are unaware that snacks and processed foods contain a lot of sodium. If one eats too many snacks, one could consume too much salt.
There is no standard for high sodium food in Taiwan. For England's Food Standard Agency, the definition is more than 500 to 600 milligrams of sodium in 100 grams of food.
High sodium means there's more than 600 milligrams of sodium in 100 grams of food. Ministry of Health and Welfare suggests that adults should not consume more than 2,400 milligrams of sodium a day. It is equivalent to 6 teaspoons of salt. There is 660 milligrams of sodium in a pack of dry radish cookies and more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium in instant noodles.
You will notice that after eating snacks, you will feel especially thirsty.
Sodium is essential as it helps control our body's fluid balance. Too much sodium consumption will lead to body edema as well as increase the risk of high blood pressure and heart problems and even cause osteoporosis.
The extra sodium ions in your body will compete with calcium ions, leading to urination of more calcium ions. It will stimulate your parathyroid, leading to more loss of calcium. Therefore, many people who consume high-sodium foods have osteoporosis.
There are high-sodium foods that do not taste salty. For example, 10 pieces of lemon cookies, which taste sweet, include 1.5 teaspoons of salt, about 1/4 of the recommended daily intake.
Processed food usually contains more sodium, but you might not test it. Other tests, such as the test of lemon, covers the sodium test.
In addition, 2.5 pieces of white toast include more than 400 milligrams of sodium, which is 1/6 of a day's recommended intake.
In my mind, toast is sweet. Therefore, I did not know it is also salty.
Some housewives use low-sodium salt. Doctors point out such salt contains high potassium ions, which is not recommended for dialysis patients.
My mother and I use low-sodium salt, but she kept saying it does not taste salty, so I added more. Later, I stopped using it.
We do not necessarily need salt in cooking. We can use natural spices, such as lemon, which tastes sour. Tomato also has its special taste. There are also wolfberries and Angelica sinensis.
One can consume fruit and vegetables to increase the intake of natural potassium ions, maintaining a balance of sodium and potassium ions in the body. More importantly, one can drink more water to rid the body of the extra sodium. In addition, exercises can also help the body maintain a healthy balance. On November 1st, Taichung Tzu Chis Hospital held the first sutra text writing class, where medical staff got together during the lunch hour and copied text from the Sutra of Immeasurable Meanings. Let's join them there.
Stroke by stroke, everyone is writing out the Sutra of Immeasurable Meanings. This is the first sutra writing class at Taichung Tzu Chis Hospital, where staff members use their lunch break to calm their minds.
We can use this opportunity to correct our mindset and open our hearts to a more positive thinking and strive towards a better self.
This helps me to adjust my habits, such as my ability to focus.
A staff of the Engineering Affairs Office, Chen Minghui, also came to participate in the writing class, even though it's his day off. He feels his temper has changed for the better since he started to recite the sutra on a daily basis.
When you are rewriting the sutra text, you can learn from what you're copying down, and then you can change your own habits.
The sutra text writing class held at the Taichung Tzu Chis Hospital is the 112th class held worldwide. Currently, there are about 40,000 people participating in this movement, which was started by Huang Yiqiao.
Master Zheng Yin's words are very clear, and we can use this chance to learn from the Master. By each stroke we put down on paper, we can be immersed in the Sutra of Immeasurable Meanings.
By copying down sutra texts, one can not only settle one's mind, but also gain wisdom from the Dharma teaching.
The Southern Cross Island Highway stretches for a total length of 118 kilometers. Along this route, there are no hospitals. Therefore, residents need to drive for more than an hour to see a doctor. Also, there are 1.3 million tourists who travel on this road, leading to occasional accidents. This is yet another reason many people are calling for a local hospital to be built.
This is the Southern Cross Island Highway in Taidong County, which stretches for 118 kilometers and crosses 4 townships with more than 20,000 residents living along this main traffic artery. These people live the furthest distance from medical care. These voices have been heard and championed by Xu Zhaoping.
Building a hospital is a big undertaking, as we need a lot of money and staff, and we either need the government or a major corporation to help us. The problem is that over the years, no one wants to help build a hospital here. The government says it won't be cost-effective, and they're scared of businessmen as no one wants to lose money, and corporations are also reluctant to come.
Lacking medical resources in the area means that those who are sick must drive 90 minutes to see a doctor in the city, with one-way transportation costs approaching $50. To some, this is an extravagant cost. So in 2011, Xu began planning for the construction of a hospital here. He recruited musicians and made an appeal to the public to spur interest in building a hospital.
We used our strength to help him realize the dream of setting up the Southern Cross Island Highway Hospital. This will help people here better enjoy their lives, as they definitely need good medical care here.
These musicians and other local artists are all working together to draw more attention to this dream of building a hospital here to take care of the residents along the Southern Cross Island Highway.
Continuing with our reports on outstanding students of Tzu Chis New Shoot Scholarship recipients, today we meet Chen Yuchen, who grew up in a single-parent family. 3 years ago, Chen's mother was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and that changed Chen's outlook on life. Chen immediately curbed his wayward ways and became a responsible adult. His dream is to become a chef and provide for his mother.
Upon returning home from school, Chen Yuchen immediately heads to the kitchen. A second-year student of restaurant management at Gaoying Industrial Commercial Vocational High School, Chen loves to cook for his mother. 3 years ago, his mother was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and the rebellious teen suddenly became responsible.
From when I got sick to my chemotherapy, I don't know what I would do without him. He had to take care of me during my bathroom trips and even apply medicine for me. He was only in junior high then. I really don't know what would happen if he's not around.
During his mother's surgery, Chen carefully puts in his effort to take care of her and also used the time to reflect on himself.
I saw how much pain my mother was in, and if I continued to misbehave on top of that, if one day she left me, I would regret my actions. So it was then I decided not to worry or anger my mother.
After his mother's condition was stabilized, Chen has also changed.
During his mother's illness, he showed her a great responsibility. His home responsibility reflected in his work ethics as well, and he's a well-mannered student.
To decrease the burden on his family situation, Chen chose to study in a corporate learning course. He earns top marks and is no longer a headache to the school, but his mother still has one tiny wish.
I had hoped his moral character is upright and correct.
With Tzu Chi volunteers' continuous care and his mother setting an example, the mother and son pair can often be seen at nighttime recycling events around their home. As a recipient of the New Shoot Scholarship Program, the student can choose any present he wants. Yet Chen's present is...
I just want a frying pan. I normally cook at home, so with the pan I can practice more dishes.
This boy with a chef's dream is finally getting his wish fulfilled.
This one has a fan, so it can help to distribute the heat evenly.
Explaining how good each kitchen equipment is, Chen hopes to use this wonderful present to fulfill his filial piety towards his mother.
A teacher at National Pingdong Senior High School has led some art students to visit a nursing home. The students sketch portraits of the seniors while listening to their life stories. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.